as we make some of these quote unquote advancements, are they coming at the advancement of human? And a lot of people can't even answer that because they don't even understand what is human, what are the principles of a human, and that there was a blueprint laid out for us by our ancestors. And so for those that are interested, you can look into previous civilizations, one of them being the Hopi and the Hopi prophecy, meaning, actually, before I even get into that, because there's not even a need to really go deep on that, is this. We're operating with a misperception, and you can read this with Steiner's work, that we think we're the most evolved species, right? That the human is like, in this generation, is evolved. If you study ancient civilizations and where we actually come from, and whether you're talking about the Anunnaki or whether you're talking about the Sumerians, or you're talking, I mean, like where we actually come from, and then up the line, there's even more, the ancient civilizations that happened prior to this dimension that we're aware of. So now you're getting into the Atlanteans and some of the other ones, they're the Palladians. This species is actually pretty devolved, meaning that we come from much higher realms of consciousness. And not only that, much higher realms of being a fucking human. So it was on season 1, episode 4. It's called The Empowered Human of Ancient Civilizations. It was an episode and it was talking to an Egyptian archaeologist, and he's talking about human senses. Most of us here are used to hearing and operating with 5 senses. Right, you're often used to hearing, oh yeah, you got your basic 5 senses, right? You got your smell, and you got your taste, and you got your hearing, and you got your feeling, and you got your sight. Okay, there's your 5 senses. He said the human within some of the ancient Egyptian times was operating with 365 senses. And so this is one big reality that I've come to live in, is this: for every quote unquote advancement that's been made in man's creation or human's creation, because you have God's creation, which is the human, right? And then you got human's creation, which is the technology. For every advancement that's happened within human's creation, or what's often gets called man's creation, it comes at a sacrifice of the human, which is God's creation.
I'm just laughing because all I said was one thing, and you just went off.
Sorry, bro.
I love it. You make my job so easy, because people are they're listening, like, what? They're trying to follow the individual threads of what you said. One of the things I thought was good and was so relevant, and what I find is so true in my life, is that we're meant to feel the results of like meaningful effort, or the fruits of our labor in that way. And you see previous generations were just so much harder, bro. Harder. They would get their legs amputated in the middle of a battle scene. They would just be living outside in the elements. They would get all types of different diseases and live through it. Harder people for harder times. And I think that even though there are the modern conveniences make life very enjoyable in a lot of ways, the softer you become and the less you're accustomed to having to exert effort for anything that you get, the less anything satisfies you at all.
And then what people have forgotten is you've given all your power away to something outside of yourself. And right. That's the biggest thing. So let me give you some examples on what I'm talking about when I say every advancement, quote unquote advancement, that we've made in an external technology has come at a sacrifice of our internal technology, which is basically our internal power. It's the continual, basically relinquishing of one's power and giving it to something outside of himself. For right now, you look at your fucking phone. Everything your phone can do, the human used to be able to do. Right? I want to make a call somewhere to a relative across the way, across the land, across the world. We were able to do that by connecting to the larger field. What is the fucking internet? The internet is basically the Akashic records, right? You go look into, I want to look up, blah, blah, blah. I can find it out right now. Like the internet has a source of the infinite. Is there anything that you can think of that you probably can't find something of on the internet at this moment? Right? You come up with the most fucking random shit. I want to see, I don't know, bat shit in Asia. I don't know, whatever the fuck you name, the fucking random ass scenario that
Yeah, but how do you access the Akashic records though? The internet is a concrete, it's, you know, touchable. It's a 3D version of the Akashic records, right?
Right. So it's more interactable. But I'm saying was that same skill set that was able to be developed within the human through years of effort is becoming effortless.
Yes.
And so because of that, we're no longer utilizing that skill.